At 9 o'clock, Boxerbaum, Kleberg, Miller, Bassel, and 4 officers from the Columbus SWAT team set out in 3 cars at 20 miles an hour on the freeway, their headlights bouncing back off the densest fog any of them had ever seen. The SWAT team got there first. What should have been a 15-minute drive had taken an hour, and then it took another 15 minutes to find the right address in the winding, newly laid-out street of the Channing Way apartment complex. While they waited for the others to arrive, the SWAT officer spoke to some of the neighbors. There were lights on in the Milligans' apartments. When the detectives and university officers arrived, they all took positions. Nicky Miller hid out of sight on the right-hand side of the patio. Bassel went around the corner of the building. The remaining 3 SWAT officers took up positions on the other side. Boxerbaum and Kleberg ran around back and moved up to double sliding glass doors. Craig took the dummy Domino's pizza box out of the trunk of his car and scrawled on it, Milligan 5673 Old Livingston, with a black marking pen. He pulled his shirt tail out of his jeans to cover his revolver and walked casually to one of the 4 doors facing the patio. He rang the bell. No answer. He rang again and, hearing a noise inside, struck a board pose, one hand holding up the pizza box and the other on his hip near his gun. From his position behind the house, Boxerbaum saw a young man sitting in a brown easy chair in front of a large color TV set. To the left of the front door, he saw a red chair, an L-shaped living room dining room. No one else in view. The TV watcher got up from the chair and went to answer the front doorbell. When Craig rang the doorbell again, he saw someone peer at him through the glass panel beside the door. The door opened and a handsome young man stared at him. "I got you pizza." "I didn't order pizza." Craig tried to look past him into the apartment and could see Boxerbaum through the open drapes at the rear glass doors. "It's the address I got for William Milligan." "That your name?" "No." "Somebody from here phoned to the order," Craig said. "Who are you?" "This is my friend's apartment." "Where is your friend?" "He ain't here right now." He spoke in a dull, halting voice. "Well, where is he?" "Somebody ordered this pizza. Bill Milligan, this address." "I don't know. The people next door know him. Maybe they can tell you, or maybe they ordered it." "Would you show me?" The young man nodded, walked to the door a few steps across from his own, knocked and waited a few seconds and knocked again. There was no answer. Craig dropped the pizza box, pulled his gun and pressed it into the back of the suspect's head. "Freeze! I know you're Milligan." He snapped handcuffs on him. The young man looked dazed. "What's this for? I didn't do nothing." Craig jabbed the gun between his shoulder blades, pulling Milligan's long hair as if yanking on reins. "Let's get back inside." As Craig pushed him into the apartment, the other SWAT officers stormed in around him, guns leveled. Boxerbaum and Kleber came around front to join them. Nicky Miller had the ID picture out, showing a mole on Milligan's neck. "He's got the mole. Same face. It's him." They put Milligan in the red chair, and she noticed he stared straight ahead with a dazed, trance-like expression. Sergeant Dempsey bent and looked under the chair. "Here is the gun," he said, sliding it out with a pencil. 9mm Magnum, Smith & Wesson. A SWAT officer turned over the seat of the brown chair in front of the TV set and started to pick up a bullet clip and a plastic bag with ammunition. But Dempsey stopped him. "Hold it. We've got an arrest warrant, not a search warrant." He turned to Milligan. "You want to let us go ahead and search?" Milligan just stared blankly. Kleberg, knowing he didn't need a search warrant to check whether anyone else was in other rooms, wandered into the bedroom and saw the brown jogging suit on the unmade bed. The place was a mess, laundry strewn all over the floor. He glanced inside the open walk-in closet, and there on the shelf, neatly stacked, were credit cards belonging to Donna West and Carrie Dreyer. Even scraps of paper taken from the women. The brown-tinted sunglasses and a wallet lay on the dresser. He went to tell Boxerbaum what he'd seen and found him in a dinette that had been converted into an artist's studio. "Look at this." Boxerbaum pointed to a large painting of what seemed to be a queen or an 18th century aristocratic lady dressed in a blue gown with lace trim, sitting beside a piano and holding sheet music. The detail was amazing. It was signed Milligan. "Hey, that's beautiful," Kleberg said. He glanced at the other canvases lined up against the wall, the brushes, the tubes of paint. Boxerbaum slapped his forehead. The stains, Donna West said, he had on his hand. That's what they were. He'd been painting. Nicky Miller, who had also seen the painting, came up to the suspect, still sitting in the chair. "You're Milligan, aren't you?" He looked up at her, dazed. "No," he mumbled. "That's a beautiful painting over there. Did you paint it?" He nodded. "Well," she said, smiling, "it's signed Milligan." Boxerbaum walked up to Milligan. "Bill, I'm Elliot Boxerbaum, of the OSU police. Will you talk to me?" No response. There was no sign of the eye drifting Carrie Dreyer had noticed. "Has anyone read him and his rights?" No one answered, so Boxerbaum pulled out his rights card and read it aloud. He wanted to be sure. "You're accused of kidnapping those girls from the campus, Bill. Do you want to talk about it?" Milligan looked up, shocked. "What's going on? Did I hurt anybody?" "You told them other people would come after them. Who are they?" "I hope I didn't hurt anybody." As an officer headed into the bedroom, Milligan glanced up. "Don't kick that box in there. You'll blow it up." "A bomb?" Kleberg asked quickly. "It's in there." "Will you show me?" Boxerbaum asked. Milligan got up slowly and walked to the bedroom. He stopped at the door and nodded in the direction of a small carton on the floor beside the dresser. Kleberg stayed with Milligan while Boxerbaum went inside to look. The other officers crowded behind Milligan in the doorway. Boxerbaum kneeled beside the box. Through the open top flap he could see wires and what looked like a clock. He backed out of the room and said to Sergeant Dempsey, "You'd better call the fire department bomb squad. Kleberg and I are going back to the station. We'll take Milligan in." Kleberg drove to the university police car. Rockwell from the SWAT team sat beside him. Boxerbaum sat in back with Milligan, who didn't respond to questions about the rapes. He just leaned forward, awkward because of the handcuffs at his back, and mumbled disconnected remarks. "My brother Stuart is dead. Did I hurt anyone?" "Did you know any of the girls?" Boxerbaum asked. "Did you know the nurse?" "My mother's a nurse," Milligan mumbled. "Tell me why you went to the OSU campus area for your victims." "The Germans are going to come after me. Let's talk about what happened, Bill. Was it the nurse's long black hair that attracted you?" Milligan looked at him. "You're strange." Then, staring again, he said, "My sister's gonna hate me when she finds out." Boxerbaum gave up. They arrived at the Central Police Station and took their prisoner in through the back entrance, up to the third-floor processing room. Boxerbaum and Kleberg went into another office to help Nicky Miller prepare the affidavits for the search warrants. At 11:30, Officer Bessel read Milligan's rights again and asked if he would sign the waiver. Milligan just stared. Nicky Miller heard Bessel say, "Listen, Bill, you raped 3 women and we want to know about it." "Did I do that?" Milligan asked. "Did I hurt anyone? If I hurt someone, I'm sorry." After that, Milligan sat mute. Bessel took him to the 4th floor slating room to get him fingerprinted and photographed. A uniformed policewoman looked up as they entered. Bessel grabbed Milligan's hand to begin the fingerprinting, but the prisoner jerked back suddenly, as if terrified to be touched by him, and moved behind the policewoman for protection. "He's scared about something," she said. Turning to the white-faced, trembling Yoss, she spoke softly as if to a child. "We've got to take your prints. Do you understand what I'm saying?" I don't want him to touch me." "All right," she said. "I'll do it. Is that okay?" Milligan nodded and let her fingerprint him. After the fingerprinting and photographing, an officer led him away to a holding cell. When the search warrant forms were completed, Nicky Miller phoned Judge West. Hearing the evidence she had and considering the urgency of the matter, he told her to come to his home, and at 1:20 that morning he signed the warrants. Miller drove back to the Channing Way apartment complex through the fog, which had gotten even worse. Miller then phoned the mobile crime scene search unit. At 2:15, when they arrived at the apartment, she presented the warrants and they made the search. They listed the items removed from the suspect's apartment: dresser, cash $343, sunglasses, handcuffs, and key, wallet, ID for William Sims and William Milligan. Charge slip to Donna West. Closet. Master charge cards to Donna West and Carrie Dreyer. Cleaning card for Donna West. Photograph of Polly Newton. .25 caliber ARMI automatic pistol with 5 live rounds. Vanity. 3 1.5 to 11 piece of paper with name and address of Polly Newton. Page from her dress book. Headboard. Switchblade knife. 2 packets of powder. Chest of drawers. Phone bill for Milligan. S&W holster. Under a chair. Smith & Wesson 9mm with clip and 6 live rounds. Under seat of brown chair. Clip with 15 rounds and a plastic bag containing 15 live rounds. Back at the Central Police Station, Nicky Miller took the evidence to the clerk of courts, had it notarized, and turned it over to the property room. "There is enough here to go to trial with," she said. Milligan cringed in the corner of the tiny cell, shaking violently. Suddenly, after a slight choking sound, he fainted. A minute later, he opened his eyes and stared around in astonishment at the walls, the toilet, the bunk. "Oh, God, no," he shouted. "Not again." He sat on the floor staring dully into the space. Then he saw cockroaches in the corner, and his expression blanked and changed. Crossing his legs, he hunched up close, his chin cupped in his hands, and smiled childishly as he studied them running in circles.